21 facts stupid scientists and atheists can't answer. Also known as 21 facts that evolutionists can't answer. And you know it's gotta be good because it's a message from the Discovery Institute. A bunch of big smarters who brain real good and don't constantly say stupid things. So prepare to have your faith in the religion of evolutionism destroyed. Number 1. Why are planets round? Wow, off to a shit start, but that is par for the course, of course. I don't know, man. Why is your brain so smooth? There's some mysteries that science just can't answer if I don't bother checking. And, oh wait, I did. Planets are round because of gravity, dumbass. And your brain is so smooth and round because of the same thing. No, not the gravity bit, the dumbass bit. You know, because you are one. I can tell because of the question and the thinking you can defeats the evolutionism of them. Have you seen me? Evolutionists think I'm real. What the fuck? Who? What person who understands literally anything about evolution thinks that that thing is real? The only people I have ever heard touting nonsense creatures as literally real are, well, your lot, with your dragons and your unicorns and, you know, gods. This shit is a fantasy that you made up, not anyone else, and that's mostly because you don't understand evolution. Number 2, go to a zoo and tell me why doesn't a chimpanzee give birth to a man? That's not a question, right? That's a command, and, a silly one. Mostly because I don't need to go to a zoo to do that. They don't give birth to men because they aren't men, and I won't go to the zoo because they are cruel and terrible places. Not because I mostly just cannot be bothered to go outside. Atheism, the opiate of the morally corrupt. Hey, I may be morally corrupt, but it has nothing to do with my atheism. I just am, and I make no excuses for it. However, if I wanted to make excuses for it, I would definitely pick one of those religious sects that lets people act monstrously as a virtue. Or one of the other ones where saying, I'm sorry, Mr. Gwad, and then I can just pretend like that means it's all fine now. Number 3, have you ever seen a mountain form? From where? I already said I don't leave my house. Oh, wait, I thought you meant from. Have I seen one forming? No. But I can explain how they do. I mean, I've never seen shit form, but I know how it does because of the arguments of places like the Discovery Institute. You don't need to witness something to know how it happens. In your case, you see the science, check it against a Bible, and if it contradicts that Bible, then it must be wrong. Even though the science is based on observation and inference and the Bible is based on likely stoned nomads giggling and saying, hey, what if there's like a dude that did everything? But in the Middle Eastern version of a surfer dude accent. Have you ever seen me? Evolutionists. Wait, what the hell? This is literally the same one, although it has got a cute pupper head. But even that won't make me let it slide. If these memes aren't even going to be original in their stupidity, then I'm just going to skip them. So yeah, assume if you don't see any more in the future, it's not because, oh my god, they made such a good point. It's because they were that fucking worthless. Number 4, why doesn't new life show up in a jar of peanut butter? What? Oh, I remember this one. That was this guy's fucking stupid argument. His complete misunderstanding of how life forms. And considering that has nothing to do with evolution, and neither have most of these questions for that matter, it does make you wonder about the title. But oh well, not my fault they don't know the difference between things. But it doesn't, because that would be fucking weird and completely disprove all notions of abiogenesis or evolution that we've ever had. Number 5. If the Big Bang started as a singularity, who held up the singularity? But you guys don't believe in the Big Bang, so why would you think that anyone held up something that doesn't exist? Also, held up is a weird term for a floating point in whatever was around it before space happened. Although, to be fair, I don't know what, if anything, would have held it. But I'll bet it would have been a floating point in the before space. Number 6. A painting had a painter, therefore the universe has a maker. No, therefore the universe had a universer, or the making had a maker. And look, this is clearly supposed to be like a syllogism, except it's missing premise 2, or 1 maybe, I don't know. But a better one would be more like, things have makers. The universe is a thing. Therefore, the universe has a maker. Now, it's not perfect, but I think you'll get my point. And more importantly, just because something is logically consistent doesn't mean that the premises are true. We don't know that all things have makers, because they don't. And calling the universe a thing is far too general a term to be useful. So even when I make a non-worthless version for you, it's still worthless. Number 21. If a monkey gave birth to a man... Wait a fucking second. Number 21. What happened to the rest? What is going on with this shit? Oh god, I think the writer of these points might be an idiot. What? I've already been paid for my services? Fuck. But now everyone will think that I'm the moron. Oh well, who would he or she mate with? God damn it, they can't even numbers. How do I get stuck with these terrible jobs? I mean, you one monkey. No one, because it wouldn't happen as discussed last time you made basically the same fucking point. Also, is their voiceover guy alright? I hope he really is paid well for that shit, despite his transgressions. Damn. Also, they had a before meme thing, but it didn't even try to make a point other than atheists are vampires, I guess? Number 8. How can you explain gravity? Ah, well, this one's very easy. God done it. You see, once upon a time, God wanted matter to stick together, and the more stuck together mass you had, the more stick-toable it became. The end. Except take God out and, the shit explanation, and gravity still functions the way we know that it does. And even if we had no idea how it worked, that wouldn't mean some all-power boy was hanging around willing gravity to be at all hours. I mean, if God is anything like me, the gravity would switch off all the time. Seriously, it took me 3 fucking attempts yesterday to empty the dishwasher. The first time, I came back with a sandwich. The second time, a big drink. And on the third go, I just set the dishwasher off again. Thanks, brain. Very cool. Number 9. If we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? If many Americans come from Europe, why are there still Europeans? Now, some might not get this point, but it is actually very simple. The ancestors of both the Europeans on the continent and the ones that settled in the States were all Europeans, right? But over time, the ones that stayed stateside became Americans, and the ones that didn't are still Europeans. It's basically the same thing with monkeys. All the human and monkey ancestors were whatever kind of monkey, or and then humans split off and became humans, and monkeys developed in their own direction. Neither of these examples is exactly the same thing, but they all have the same ancestors. This really is not that hard. Number 10. If the world is millions of years old, why is it only 2008? Christ, this is an old video, but god damn, it's got a lot of views. But fine, it makes no difference. It's only about 2,000 years in because, right, that's an arbitrary number placed there by people. I mean, if you believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old, why same? Because some human decided that we would move the more recent timestamp to there because they had no idea when it all actually started. So an arbitrary point to count from is better than it is the year I don't really know, because dating methods are still incredibly bad in my stupid age's time. So let's just pick a day and start from there. Also, if you think that it's because it's Jesus' birthday, you don't know when Jesus was allegedly born. This will be a fun one. Attention lunatic atheists and their lawyers. Anti-God is anti-American. Anti-American is treason. Traitors lead to civil war. Where to start? Apart from the founding fathers largely not being your types of godists, so anti-which god exactly? If anything, being anti-American isn't treason. Treason tends to require action, unless you're one of those thought crime is a real crime kind of people. And, well, you do have Ray disliking someone is literally murder comfort in your ranks, so you probably do. And, of course, the first bit is the funniest. If you don't agree with me and let me shit on your rights, you must be crazy. And I can only imagine what your lawyers had to say about you posting this, but I bet it went along the lines of, please don't. Number 11. If I throw up dirt in the air, what are the odds it will fall in the formation of a living man? Well, first off, pal, stop eating dirt and you will probably stop throwing it up. That's a pro tip right there. And second, making an even dumber version of Hoyle's fallacy, you know, the one with the junkyard and the tornado planes, doesn't make it not Hoyle's fallacy. Really, never has been an original argument amongst you lot, has there? All just recycled garbage, which is ironic considering. Number 12. Can you see electricity? Yes? Can you not? What do you think this stuff is? Or this stuff? Or that stuff? I mean, you could argue it's the effects of electricity, and you aren't actually seeing the electricity, and I would have the semantics police arrest you for crimes against wasting my fucking time. Although, honestly, it's way more likely that you just forgot arc lightning is a thing, and that only the electric that makes your science machine work does a thing, while you sit there debunking all of science with your big brain and inability to make anything that valuable. The atheist. Godless atheists threaten Christian civilization. I like this one because technically it's true. I mean, take away the scary imagery and yes, people basing their beliefs on what they can see and understand and scientific principles, as many atheists will do, would definitely threaten everything you stand for. But that is also true of any opposing ideology. That doesn't somehow make yours right just because you're scared of it. Number 13. Science changes. The book of Genesis is perfect. Perfect in what way? I mean, there's multiple versions of it, and then there's the fact it is perfect in its wrongness about the explanation of how the universe started. So really, if it's perfect at anything, it's being dumb. However, they do have us. Science does change. As we gain more information, we get a more accurate understanding of reality, and the science changes to reflect that. It's a good thing. And also, interesting that the more accurate it gets, the more ludicrous Genesis becomes. Perfect. Number 14. The Holy Bible is the truth because the Bible says it's the truth. If I didn't know any better, I would think this was a parody of how fucking stupid religious boys can be that I wrote. But unfortunately, no. The book is true because the book says it's true is circular reasoning, and it's fallacious for a reason, because you can literally do it with anything. All the arguments I have made in this video are the best arguments any atheist has ever made, and defeats all the Christians forever, and I am very good looking, because yada yada yada, I said it, it must be true. I tell you what is true, if you think this is a good point, you're a fucking idiot. Number 15. Evolution is a religion, and science leads to killing people. No, it's not. It is, in fact, science. And just because, you know, I don't like science, doesn't mean calling a fact a religion is going to have any impact on us. And only makes it seem like you don't actually value religion that much, since you seem so happy to weaponize the concept. Oh, and science has literally saved more life than any human effort combined in the ever. If anything, you should be more mad that science stopped all those babies that God clearly wanted dead from dying. Those bastards subverting God's evil will like that. You wanna be a monkey? Well, if that isn't them telling on themselves. But me, I'm not one bit ape. Well, I'm sorry, but the consequences of the science being correct, being something that you don't like, doesn't change the fact that the science is correct. I don't like that I have to live on a planet covered in human scum, but they are all scum all the time, and that's not going to change just because I don't like it. Not until I enact the plan. Number 16. Scientists around the world are jointly involved in a conspiracy against God. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's just that everything I don't like is a conspiracy against me. Also, even though atheists are overrepresented in the sciences, there are still tons of scientists who are extremely devout in their faith, and yet none of them have come forward to expose the science conspiracy. Almost like there fucking isn't one. Number 17. Bananas are perfectly designed for the human hand. Ha ha ha! The atheist nightmare. And I told you, great comfort. I mean, you tell me, does this look like it was perfectly designed for a human hand? No, that's right, because it wasn't. But to be frank, even if bananas came down from God, it clearly isn't perfectly designed for the human hand, because no two human hands are the same. For some, this would be a pretty good fit. For many, it's a tiny nonsensical child's thing, because it is. The idea that anything could be perfectly designed for human hands across the board means you know literally nothing about ergonomics. Shocking that you would be ignorant about something. Guys? Crush the godless liberals! Because, you know, it's us that are a threat against you and not the other way around. Also, not all atheists are liberals. What are you going to do with those guys? I mean, they would be largely on your side, but they don't believe in your most nonsensical beliefs. Better put them up against the wall too. Where have I heard that before? Number 18. Millions of years for a monkey to turn into a man. Monkeys don't live that long. Oh, come on, man. I would like to think that even you would realize what a stupid fucking point that is. But then I remember all your other points you made, and yeah, of course you don't. No, one monkey doesn't live that long, but evolution is a function of populations over time, not individuals. Guess what? Having offspring allows your species to live a real long time. Shocking, eh? I mean, that's one of the reasons Christians are still about. Your lot do have a tendency to pump them out. Number 19. Why would a man have sex with a monkey? I mean, I made a joke about it earlier, but that really does sound like projection. Have I ever had sex with a monkey? Why would a man want to have sex with a monkey? That's never happened. When I'm all alone at night, thinking about their hairy bodies and their weird hand-like feet and their... Oh, God! And I'm done. A liberal searching for the meaning of life. Liberals again, and weird. Because I thought that was an apologist looking for a new argument that was good. Number 20. Archaeologists always remove the human remains first when they find a dinosaur so they can continue to lie. Okay, I can only assume that the above isn't true in any reasonable sense. But let's give it to them, and what they might actually mean is that maybe human fossils would be above dinosaurs in general. So that would, of course, mean that they removed them first because, you know, they would find them first. Digging way under the first remains you find just so you can pull up the dino chaps and pretend that the Flintstones is a documentary. Sounds like a huge waste of everyone's fucking time. Well, before we get to number 21, the greatest of all the questions, I have to show you just how many of those were the exact same quote-unquote point that even at the time they would have been told over and over and over again, it's a shit point for wankers. And of course, it's most of the damn things. And they say you guys aren't creative or smart or have any good points. They say that because they're right. Number 21. Again. Can you speak monkey? I don't think so. No, he's right. Got me there. And it's a damn shame too, but no, I will never work for the Discovery Institute. Sad.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel, Spoonstar Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...